Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back. My name is Joe Josh. Go by iChart Daily. Today is March 30th. Wanted to give you a quick Bitcoin update. Let you know what I'm doing, what am I watching, where are my support resistance lines, etc., etc. So, first things first, this is not financial advice. This is a window to my thought process. I've been doing technical analysis for 18 years now. I've been trading and investing in crypto for almost 11, 12 years now. Witnessed, experienced, traded, charted multiple halvenings. I've basically formed very, very thick skin to the BS. I don't listen to the news to justify price action. I trust charts over people, and I follow a certain set of rules to help me eliminate the emotions in my trading. I've now created an indicator, multiple indicators to help you with the visuals. I've created a bot that checks tickers with the indicators that I trade with to notify me if certain tickers are bullish or bearish. And the goal of all of this is to become systematically robotic with your trading. Meaning, I hope, I think, those words don't exist. It's if this happens, I do this. When this happens, I do this. That's in the way you need to be with technical analysis, okay? So, I always start with a longer time frame. Let's delete everything, right? This is an 11 and 21 day moving average. The moving average changes if the RSI is above or below your 50 line. Very important depending on the time frame you're looking at. As you can see, once we go below, you're officially in a bear market. Once you go above, you're officially in a bull market. When you're below, you could see resistance from the moving averages. When you're above, you could see support at the moving averages. You can see the divergence indicator showing up, notifying you when hidden or regular bullish or bearish divergences are being indicated on a longer time frame. Every indicator holds more value. So what am I seeing? First things first, we are above the moving averages. The moving averages are white. Yes, we are on the cusp of a nice, healthy consolidation. I really do think that. As you can see, once we break the 11-day moving average, which lines up right now with, let's just say, 78, 77,000, if we were to break that, we're retesting the 67 to potentially 70,000 on the table, throwing it out there. The same way we were here and we retested the 58, we broke, we went right to the 48,000. That would line up with major resistance in the past. And when you're doing technical analysis in a continuation uptrend, what was resistance in the past, if it turns into present support, that's a huge, huge win for the bulls, right? You can see here us coming down and retesting this range right here of the top of the wicks of 73.1 down to these candles and wicks of support here of 67.2. That still would form a higher low on the macro, right? When I look at this and I look at these swings and I say, okay, buying pressure, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The most important thing that I am watching on this trend right now is the monthly RSI, okay? The monthly RSI has been making higher lows since December 1st, 2022, right? 1, 2, now we're here. I said in my last video we've made a lower high, showing me that we have a very high probability of hitting this 60.77 or potentially even breaking it, right? Because once you start the reversal trend, the lower high or the higher low on a longer time frame like a monthly chart, nothing to play with, like indications of potential huge correction on the table. Bulls obviously want to pull back to the 21-day moving average of 65 to 70,000 and see major support. What I think could potentially play out is we could form another higher low, come back up to the 103, 108, or even break it and go to the 115 to the 120, and then form another lower high on the monthly, and then you would have officially either a same high or lower high on the MACD, right? Because this bearish divergence that was playing out from March 24 till now. The price made a higher high, RSI made a lower high, MACD made a higher high. So the MACD making a higher high somewhat canceled it out. You want them both to be aligned, something like this, right? We went from 10,009 to 11,007, almost like a double top, right? With a lower high, same thing here, same thing here. So we want to see a 110, 115 double top or a little bit of a higher high, fake out. Lower high out of the MACD, another lower high out of the RSI. What I'm watching right now, since we're in somewhat of a downtrend, is I'm putting an alert here at the 60.72 on the monthly. If we break that, I know we have room to bleed to the 58.73, your next range, like 58 to 57. I'm using this level here, right? And I'm using this level here as a range. So I will set an alert right here, 60.20. And if I understand that we're breaking support and we have room to bleed, then that means that the theory of us breaking this and eventually going down to the 65 to 67 is definitely on the table. Now, another thing is if we do have that, another thing that I'm watching, right? I'm waiting for this to bottom and then eventually come back up, and then I'm understanding that we potentially have room to grow once we do bottom. If it is 67, 65, 75, whatever it is, or now, it's still not confirmed. Nothing is confirmed yet. I'll zoom into the shorter time frames. But as of right now, we're still waiting to see the bottom. And then I'm curious to see if we do form that bottom, come back up, and then see resistance at the 70 and at this line here, having a double confluence. And then once you have that break in and then the resistance here, that's that confirmation pattern that I've been telling you guys to print out and put on your walls. The break of market structure is the break of the 70, the break of the moving average, then the retest forming the higher low. That is like a confirmation pattern that you have way more room to bleed. Once again, when that played out here, Bitcoin, it was officially over. Like we went from 60,000 to 34, retested the moving averages, and down to 15,000. If that was to play out, we would go down to the 60, 65,000, stay between the 78 and the 75, stay between the 21 and the 11-day moving average, again forming that lower high, again allowing the MACD to death cross, then we'd break 67,000, then we're heading down to 50,000. That's the most bearish scenario. So now, because you understand the importance of everything that I just said, I'm setting an alert at the 73.7, I'm setting an alert at the 71.5, and I'm setting an alert at the 68.2. Those are major levels on a monthly time frame. If you zoom in, they'll obviously become more clear. Like you could see right here, 69.7, top of the wicks here are 73.5. Your next major sell-off level would be here, 64.7. So this range I'm talking about right here, this needs to be retested if we are going to break down. Another thing I'm noticing, when candles break moving averages, you usually go from one to the next. So we broke the 11, we went to the 21. After the 21, I might put on like the 31-day moving average, and it would be like over here, showing me that if we were to break the 21 and we head to the 31, let's just do it. Okay, so there's the 31-day moving average. It's lower than the 21. So what happens is that once the price breaks up and starts breaking down, you go from the 11. The 7 is probably here. I'll show you. So you can see we were above the 7. We broke the 7. We went to the 21. We went to 21. Sorry, the 7 to the 11, then the 11 to the 21. If we break the 21, we're going to the 31. And then the 31 would line up again, as you can see here and again here, being extremely oversold. Now, if we see a death cross with the 11 and 21, that signifies a very big potential to the downside, and the top potentially is in if that happens. Certain things only happen in the chart a couple of times, As you can see, when the 11 breaks down, when the 11 breaks down, and when the 11 breaks down. If the 11 breaks to 21, it is not my opinion. It is not speculation. It is when this happens, this happens. When this happens, this happens. When this happens, this happens. And the same way when you have a golden cross, when the 21 breaks above the 11 on the monthly, it is officially long season, and you're opening up your long from 30,000 to 100,000. With the 2-3x leverage, you're calling it, you're a genius, bro. You really are. So as of right now, it is not confirmed. We have not death crossed. We have not made a lower low. We have not death crossed on a MACD. As a technical analysis person, it doesn't look great. We are on thin ice. I am setting alerts for a potential pullback, but then another high. I am putting in 20 to 30% of my money, or telling someone, this is not financial advice, but if you don't own any Bitcoin, put in about 20-30% and keep about 80 to 70% on the side. And if they ask why, I'm going to say you have a lot of risk, more risk than reward on the table. When your RSI is extremely oversold, and I was telling everyone to put money in at 17, 15, 13, you had more reward than risk. You understand? Another thing, so now we're zooming into the 3-week, the 2-week, the 1 week. Okay, now here's when I start seeing something a little bit more bearish playing out. This is another confirmation pattern. I was mentioning on the weekly time frame this level here of 45 to potentially 49 being support. Right, and it was support back in August 23. It was support in July to August 24, and we are here now, March 25. Now, what I have seen just play out was resistance at the 50. So, we are going to set an alert at the 45.53 on the weekly, understanding that that is like, we better check, bro. Like, not just. The reason why I'm saying that is because just because something was support once, twice, does not mean it's going to be support again. Can it be? Of course. And we still do have room to potentially come back down and retest the 44, right? The same way we did here and here. Like we went down, we went up, came down, and you have a retest. Could we have a double bottom? Potentially. Could we have a higher low? Potentially. Could we make a lower low? Yes. All three options are on the table. As of right now, it does not look great, especially that we got rejected right here by the 50 line, and we are below the moving average. I want to explain something to you. There are certain things that easily pop up in my mind that shows me if something is bearish or bullish, okay? And I want to explain this to you right now. It's probably the most important thing I say in the next 10-15 minutes or in the next videos. There's a checklist that shows me when things are bullish or bearish. And I'm trying to make a bot that determines all of the checkpoints. Okay, let's go over them. Is price above the moving averages or below? Price is below. Not a great sign. That's bearish. When price is above the moving averages, they use them as support. When the candles are below the moving averages, they use them as resistance. Example A, example B. Is the moving averages white or are they purple? They're purple, which means the RSI is below the 50. If the RSI is below the 50, that means we could potentially go lower, stay flat, or use the moving averages as resistance. Again, is the MACD in a death cross structure or a golden cross structure? The MACD has death cross. The MACD has death cross since January 27, 2025, showing me that momentum has come down. Is it above the zero line or below the zero line? It is still above the zero line, showing me that we potentially might not break this 60,000 until we break the zero line. So the way that works is the most recent low here is the most recent low here, 58 to 60,000. As the moving averages get closer to the zero line, we will inch closer to 58 to 60,000. If we golden cross above it, we form a higher low to the 51.9, and we then start retesting candles and swings on the way up, meaning swing is 87.5, swing is 93.9, swing is 98.9, swing is 104.2, swing is 1. So Yes, we're pointed down. Yes, we're getting rejected. We're on thin ice. I do think blood could potentially be on the horizons. Again, checkpoint. RSI. Is the RSI below the moving average? Yes. Never a great sign. So what I'm looking for is the RSI to be above the moving average in order for price to start going up. I want the shorter time moving average to be above the longer time moving average in order for price to go up. I want the candles to be on the opposite side and above the moving averages in order for price to go up. That is not my opinion. That is 18 years of staring at thousands and thousands and thousands of tickers, not justifying price action with news, and justifying either going long or short with the strategy that I just told you. We could backtest any ticker. MACD going up, RSI is above the 50, RSI is above the moving average. We went from 61,000 to 100 and something thousand. Once the RSI broke the moving average, broke the 70, and did that thing I just showed you where it went to the resistance of the 70, MACD death cross, we went from 100,000 to 76,000. We could look at Ethereum. When should have you have longed? Right here, when the moving average was below and then officially went above here on October 14th, 2024, went above the 50 line here, we golden crossed here. Ethereum went from 2400 to the death cross of 3672 and the break of the market structure here when the RSI went below the moving average and then started entering section B. MACD broke the zero line here. Your most recent low was 2408. We broke the 2408 here when we broke the zero line, and we've made lower lows, lower highs each time. When do you want to buy? When the candles are above the moving average, you have a golden cross, your RSI is above the moving average, you're in section A, and you have room to grow. Let's look at Tesla. MACD is below. We are breaking, retesting that zero line right now. So we're retesting the 211. As you can see, we're bottoming, but we have not entered long season or when you open up an official long until price goes above the moving average. You have a golden cross on your MACD. RSI is above the moving average. Okay, example A right here. We were bearish, 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 bullish. Golden cross. Break above right here. We went from 188 all the way till the death cross of 370 right here, 382. We then broke the moving averages. We then broke the RSI here first, right? We broke market structure. We did that thing that I told you got to watch out for, where you break the 70, you break the moving average, you use the 70 as resistance. Once again, different ticker, different time frame, different everything. Example point A, example point B, example point C, example point D, E, F. If I now circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times and I do this, I don't even have to justify anything with the news. You ready? We went from 371 to 220. Market structure here, we went from 286 to 209. We did that same thing where I said to print out. We went from 399 to 309. Printed out right here. We went from 311 to 181 right here. Printed out. We went from 167 to 126 right here. Same market structure. We went from 61 to 23. Right here, same market structure. We went from 226 to 20. Let's look at Riot, right? When are we longing? When the RSI is above the moving average in section A and you have a golden cross right here, Riot. I would have been longing from 860, around 880, all the way to about the golden cross here of 1265, taking profit when the divergence number comes in. RSI broke market structure, used it as resistance here. Riot went from 11 down to 7. I hope you understand everything that I just said. It's the most important thing. Candles above moving averages, MACD golden crossed, RSI above moving average. Is MACD in section A or B? Is RSI in section A or B? If it's in section B, you have room to grow back to the moving averages. If it's in section A, you have room to break the moving averages and make higher highs compared to the last swings. Okay? It's that simple. Love you guys. Appreciate the support. Any comments, questions, concerns, leave it in the comment section. As of right now, with what I just told you, and you now look at this chart, and you see below, purple, death crossed, below, section B. It's, check, everything's bearish. Everything is telling me that I am not thinking anything long until market structure changes. I need to see RSI in section A. I would like to see MACD start to form a bottom. I would like to see volume going the other way. Until then, we are on thin ice to potentially retest the 80,000 and then come back down to even, like I said here, of the 73,000. If you zoom in, you'll see different levels. So yeah, here you go. Right. As of right now, we are making this higher low. I need to see some bullish structure on the shortest, longest time frame, which is the 2-day. I need to see the 2-day. It is officially golden cross, but we're in section B. It went above the moving average, but we're in section B. I need to see the moving average and the RSI in section A. Then officially, we're breaking the 87. As of right now, it does look somewhat short-term bullish, but is not confirmed. We still have a day and 4 hours left to print. And I'm curious to see if this is one bottom, another bottom, and if this is the second or the third higher low here, which would be an inverse head and shoulders. Nothing is confirmed yet, but we need to start seeing some short-term bullishness out of the 2-day, the 1-day, and the 3-day, which will then help the weekly form its bottom. As of right now, nothing is confirmed. We are using the moving averages as resistance. We are below the histogram, showing me that if a death cross does happen, we could go back to 80,000. We are not breaking, once again, the 87 until the 2-day RSI breaks the 50 line. That's the video. Love you guys. Join the Discord. Links in the description. The Fiverr link for the indicators in the description. If please add tickers that you'd like to see the bot filter. Once again, I could, with a 5-minute refresh rate, I could do about 140, 150 tickers. If I go to 10 minutes, I could do 300 tickers. The goal, once again, is it's not a buy, sell, but it gives you an understanding that if you're seeing a blood symbol or a caution symbol, I am not expecting any type of bullishness out of that. Dead cat bounces, but back to the moving averages and seeing rejection. Enjoy the day.